Walker isn't Captain America. Bucky Barnes isn't Captain America. Sam Wilson isn't Captain America. Steve Rogers is Captain America. It's about character, not race. Screw your mantles and legacy. U.S. Agent, Winter Soldier, and Falcon are not lesser identities. All right. Okay. I had a response to that, believe it or not. Can you believe that?
I could believe it. We were thirsty for that debate last week. We couldn't get it.
Well, I mean, by the way, I'm not talking about Comicsgate here. I don't know if this guy's Comicsgate. Probably so, but like, okay, so
we were more or less debating those ideas that guy is like.
Well, okay, so first of all, let's just consider the irony of an account called the Green Lantern, and his handle is actually at Captain Jordan, as in Hal Jordan, who guess what, was not the first Green Lantern.
Damn. Oh my God.
So just right out the gate, he owned himself. Congratulations, you played yourself. That whole meme.
You called that out, right? Please tell me you called that out. And he has a response.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I did. I was like, so is Hal Jordan not a valid Green Lantern? Is John Stewart not a Green Lantern? Is basically what I realized thinking about this was, it seems like there's a cutoff date in certain people's minds, right? Like if you're a legacy character post 2010,
whatever they were,
it doesn't count.
Yeah.
It doesn't count. Yeah. So like right here. Green Lantern and his magic-based Golden Age namesake, Green Lantern. Flash and his Golden Age namesake with the funny hat, Flash. Superman and his dad, Superman. Wolverine and her clone dad, Wolverine. Spider-Man and his white mentor, Spider-Man. Legacy characters. It's a thing that's been around literally almost since the fucking dawn. Well, I don't know who the first legacy character is. Maybe Reggie, you might know offhand, but like at least since the original Green Lantern and Flash, where there was Alan Scott and what was the original Flash's name? Slipping my mind. But they existed, back in the 40s and 50s, and then they in the 70s, I think it was the 70s or 60s, they reintroduced a new Flash, Barry Allen, and a new Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, same names. At least somewhat different power sets and different versions of the same power set, different origins, but the same essential powers and so on. And those are legacy characters, and people accept those. They're accepted. They're widely accepted. Like, in fact, most people would probably think of Hal Jordan as the Green Lantern if they're even aware of the original Alan Scott one. Same thing with Flash. Most people are going to think of Barry Allen and the more modern, the Silver Age Flash, as opposed to the original with the fucking, silver goofy hat and the lightning bolts on it. So what is it about newer characters that it's not okay for them to be legacy characters, right? Why is it okay for old characters, Silver Age characters, to have mantles that were passed down to them, but not modern, contemporary superheroes? Is anybody? Jay Garrick, thank you. Thank you, Xeon's Ghost. Jay Garrick was the original Flash. And then, never mind the fact that the Green Lanterns are literally a core of people with the title of their Green Lanterns, right? There's not just one Green Lantern. There's, John Stewart. He's been a Green Lantern since what, the 80s, 70s? I don't remember. DC's not my strong suit, I'll be honest, as far as like dates and specifics like that. But
Ryan Reynolds in 2011 was a Green Lantern.
Yep. Well, I mean, he's Hal Jordan. Like, he was playing Hal Jordan. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense that these people get upset about, Falcon being, which by the way is caused because I think in the comics they're making Falcon also Captain America now. So like there's going to be two Captain Americas the same way there's now two Wolverines. Laura Kinney is also Wolverine. And Spider-Man, Miles Morales is also Spider-Man. But that's the reason, if you notice, I framed this a specific way, by naming the newer one first, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like in a way to kind of like get your attention to say that like they're valid, in the same way that these who are generally accepted, these first two, well, guess what? Superman is also Superman. Wolverine is also Wolverine, regardless of gender, regardless of sex or race. They're the same fucking thing, the same concept. And don't let anyone tell you the concept of a legacy character suddenly became invalid in the 21st century. So just keep that in mind, folks. A legacy character is a legacy character. If you don't like a legacy character because you like the original better, whatever, fine. But when you go around being a fucking gatekeeping dickhead about it, like, that's not the real Wolverine, you know, which I see a lot, like the real Wolverine's a guy and not a girl and shit like that, then you better be consistent with how you apply that, is all I'm saying. Be intellectually consistent. Be intellectually honest. If you think that, you know, Laura Kinney's not really Wolverine, if you think that John Kent's not really Superman, then you don't get to call Hal Jordan Green Lantern. You don't get to call Barry Allen the Flash.
I feel like the whole thing is, you can say you have a favorite Captain America, you have a favorite Wolverine, you can have a favorite Hawkeye. You can't just say, you shouldn't just, I think you shouldn't have to pick one over all and just say the rest of them you don't want. It's I hope that makes sense in my garbled sort of way.
No, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just like, you know, a lot of people have their favorite James Bond. A lot of people may have their favorite iteration of Solid Snake. So you should have, I mean, yeah, I understand you may not want, you still want Steve Rogers to be Captain America. And there are books that chronicle Steve Rogers during his tenure as Captain America. So you still have those, but we also have Bucky Barnes as Captain America, Sam Wilson as Captain America. As you said, Green Lantern. Green Lantern is technically a job title. So there is going to be John Stewart. There's going to be Alan Scott. There's going to be Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner, Jessica Cruz, Joe. I forgot Moline, I believe. So I have Far Sector, and I'm reading it and I'm liking it. So it doesn't mean that I don't want to see Hal Jordan ever again. He probably will come back. He probably will come through in a multiverse kind of thing. You never know. I mean, it doesn't mean, I think the whole investment in having a strict, rigid idea when we have almost 80 years of comic history, it's really grasping at straws. It's just something to hold on to in some sort of culture war sense.
Yep. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. You're right. It's and like let's see, Avenger here said, yeah, sarcastically, if legacy characters existed prior to 2014, they're valid. Everything since is woke boogeyman. Yep. Yeah, it's really absurd. Really, really absurd. And I just really hope that everybody watching, all 43 of you, by the way, I hope you're subscribed and hit the like button and all that stuff. Call this out. You know what I mean? Like, if you see it, you don't have to engage in an argument on Twitter or whatever the fuck, but reply and hit mute, mute the thread or whatever. Just let it be known. Don't let these people rewrite history, because that's what they want to do. They want to, create false dichotomies, and they want to poison the well for newer readers and newer fans so that they believe this bullshit that somehow it's not valid for Superman to have his son be named Superman and so on. But yeah. See, Death Hand says, I was very young when Jon Stewart first showed up, and I really loved the character. And when we played superheroes at recess, I would always pick him to play. Yeah, I mean, Jon Stewart, he's a black guy. So what it was, did the woke mob go back in time and force diversity onto the Green Lantern Corps?
Yeah.
What happened? Yeah. Xeon's Ghost bringing up some old forced adversity actual context lore from the time machine wash. The time machine, it was a dryer, by the way. It wasn't a washing machine. I wouldn't have gotten in the washing machine. But yeah, I have a time dryer, which, by the way, if you saw that video, it's called Marvel Comics, or What Was Marvel Like Before the Agendas was the name of that video. And I used my time machine, which was my dryer, to go back in time and look at comics before they were woke, right? And I was surprised to learn that, oh, Marvel Comics has always more or less done this same stuff. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
And but if you watch that video at the beginning, whenever I like go into open the door to my laundry room, I had like it was literally just a comic book backing, cardboard backer, and I wrote "Time Machine" and taped it onto the fucking door. That's still there, still up. Every time I go into the fucking wash clothes, I'm like, hell yeah, Time Machine. Nobody cares, but it's I know you do. You care so much.